It is Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month. That is the month of March. Yeah, 2017. Today's the last day of March 2017. And I'm here at Sun Sounds. You would not know it from just being in the audio or the office area, but if we went back to the audio area where the studios actually are, like here, it'd be a little more clear. For example, only back here do we have this very cool sort of artwork on the wall. I guess it's sort of Indian or Indian inspired, like Native American inspired. It's actually on canvas. There's a tear here, but I try to be very careful in touching it because it's actually really cool to me. I like it. Here's, of course, the familiar studio, wire ready. It's the program. The board is just, you know, exactly what you'd think it would be for radio broadcast board. Try to sort of do this both here. And what I'm listening to is the last of Teen Beat. Teen Beat is the show that comes in from Phoenix/Tempe. And it's, you know, stuff coming in from there. Today was a bad day. Not a bad day in the Sebastian way. A bad day in kind of the universal... in kind of the stage 4 pleomorphic sarcoma kind of. I'm not dying yet. Not. Someday I might. That's not news. The work that we have to do is going to get tougher. The work I have to do is going to get tougher. I didn't really expect to sit down and talk about this, but I have like time. I got to the radio station way early. So I'm actually, I guess I could do like the microphone in the background, make it feel all radio-y. Like, I have not had a chance really to sit down and hash this out mentally. All I've had the time to do, and this has kind of been true since the beginning, is to be Sully, right? I'm just trying to be Sully Sullenberger. I'm trying to do the exact, you know, thing. I'm trying to guide that crash disabled plane into the water as much as possible, and then, you know, just do what you can to stay alive. And I think that's all anybody can do. And my one cancer doctor today said he kind of thought I was handling it, for whatever that means, pretty well. And I guess I am. I mean, I had one bad day when the insurance was a real pain, but other than that, this past year of doing cancer, I've been pretty upbeat about it. Because my health has not gone down, like I'm not losing energy, I'm not losing weight, you know, I'm not losing my appetite, I'm not even losing the hair any more than I would at this 40-ish age anyway. So, you know what? I'm all right. I am. And I've been all right. And I mean, not all right with the finger quotes, but like actually all right, right? I mean, I seriously have been. And, you know, grateful to still be here. In fact, in a paradoxical way, and I guess maybe I'm not the first person to say this, it kind of woke up the fight in me. There was a time before the cancer diagnosis, marked mostly on Facebook by my radio silence. If you remember the time when you weren't hearing from me much, that was the time you should have been crying for me and praying for me and doing whatever you want to do for me, because that was the time I was not well, right? I was not well. In a million different ways, I was bad. I'm not like that now. Ever since the cancer diagnosis, it kind of gave me something to rally around, and I guess that doesn't, you know, that's not illogical. That makes some sense. Surgeries, surgeries, and radiation. That's what it's been so far. Apparently, this kind of sarcoma doesn't respond to chemo. But even the surgeries and radiation haven't been enough. It's still coming back. I have a tiny little lump over here. It's not actually that big. And we think they were going to have to try something a little more, like, invasive, a little more life-disrupting, and probably involving chemo. I'm not looking forward to that, but, you know, again, Sully wasn't looking forward to landing in the water, right? You got to do what you got to do. So I'm going to do what I got to do. It's not a big deal. And even knowing that kind of makes it easier. I told the two friends who I actually broken the news to so far, that when you get weird, crazy, like bad news, this was a pretty crazy bad news. Really the worst news day I've had, right? The fact that it's not gone yet means they're switching to more like a containment rather than, you know, what we've been doing. Like, it's pretty freaking dire, I guess. Now, am I going to die tomorrow? Am I going to die in a month? No. Am I in any pain? No. Am I, uh, discouraged? No, I'm actually not even discouraged, which is, probably now we're getting into how smart I really am or how silly I really am. Because, as I've said before, if I'm not scared, I haven't really been scared up until now, and I assume that's because I'm an idiot. I'm pretty sure. That's got to be why, because it's freaking sarcoma. And I was thinking about this. The book I really kind of call my favorite book is Infinite Jest by now deceased David Foster Wallace. It was written 21 years ago when I was in university. And when I first was in freshman, actually, I guess, in university. It was published in 96. And there's a very graphic scene. I won't explain the scene, but the first thing I ever heard the word sarcoma, I guess. I mean, you hear cancer words kind of as a layperson in and out, throughout news coverage and shit, but you never really, necessarily remember them. If I said carcinoma or blastoma, any person who hasn't had it in their life is probably going to have it wash over them. So sarcoma kind of washed over me in that way. But I remember the one time I really distinctly remember hearing or reading the word sarcoma was Kaposi's sarcoma, which is that like really graphic, horrible final stage of HIV. AIDS, actually, right? Full-blown AIDS. And Kaposi's sarcoma. Okay. This is not what I have, by the way. Please don't misunderstand me. I don't have AIDS and I don't have Kaposi's sarcoma. But I have a kind of sarcoma that is apparently like undifferentiated pleomorphic sarcoma, which is not only rare in a class of rare, like, stubborn tumors in itself. My kind of tumor is actually like a super rare kind of tumor. And at one point I'm sitting here going, I'm a gold mine. Like, why don't I sell the tumors to the freaking, the big pharma people and make a fortune? These special Seabass tumors that can't be killed. And honestly, I'm not, I mean, the doctor kind of chuckled. He's like, yeah, well, it doesn't work that way. And I'm sure he's right. On the other hand, there was all kinds of stuff that wasn't being done that way yesterday as far as the internet is concerned, whether you're talking about stuff like Uber or whether you're talking about stuff like, like crowdsourcing or crowdfunding. Lots of stuff isn't being done like it used to be. So I don't know. We'll see. I could even do a crowdfunding, I guess, for myself. I haven't really had that many medical bills because of the Access Arizona healthcare cost containment system insurance that I have. It's actually been pretty good to me. I'm trying to not ramble as much as I have a tendency to totally ramble, but I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. What's next is simply a biopsy and a PET scan. So that's nothing. I can do those in my sleep. The PET scan I wish I could do in my sleep because the PET scan you can't eat for 6 hours ahead of time, and I have a metabolism like 3 times the speed of any normal human being. So for me, 6 hours not eating is like 8 days not eating. It's just like, it's horrendous. It's by far kind of maybe not the most painful part of the experience, but it's most difficult for me. Like not eating for 6 hours. I'm always eating. I'm always eating all the time. So, I guess I hope that this, is kind of making you realize I'm not doing badly, emotionally or physically. It's just, more work. I'm dreading doing my taxes in the next couple of weeks more than I'm dreading any of the cancer shit. So if that puts it in perspective and makes you smile, good. There is some crazier stuff after tax season's over I'm going to have to get done, and that's going to suck. I'll update you then. There's no reason to worry about that now, because what's happening now, between now and tax season? My birthday. So I expect all kinds of well wishes. I expect tributes. I expect gifts. I'm going to be publishing, maybe I'll publish like my wish lists for Amazon and Bloomingdale's and Macy's and so on. I'll just be flooded with cash and prizes. All right, Seabass out. I got to go read the news to some lovely visually impaired listeners with my now Friday night partner, Sandy Cisneros, who will be here in a few moments. Thank you for watching. And hey, don't be discouraged. I'm not. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. And hey, stay tuned. The fight's not over. More to come. More to come, definitely.